Hey everybody, it's time for another little discussion here. On my discussion about confidence, at least on one of them, Thaddeus Malomare left me this comment. Interesting view on confidence. I am curious about your views on overconfidence. For example, people who are so satisfied with themselves that they never seem to grow as a person and they can never conceive the reason for why certain things never work out for them. They consider any sort of constructive criticism that comes their way to be the result of other people's jealousy of their supposed confidence. Well, I guess before we directly answer that question there, I would like to point out that sometimes, or by some views, that would actually not be viewed as confidence. Overall, that would be viewed as a lack of confidence by some people from certain viewpoints. I would actually, to an extent, consider that a defense mechanism they've created because as soon as they start to doubt their self-image, their entire world will start to crash down because they are indeed fragile individuals inside. They have this outer skin of confidence that they parade around, and they try to make sure that you realize that, oh, they're top dog, oh, they're alpha male, and oh, they are the super confident ones. However, they are like castles built out of glass, defending their walls because their sense of self truly depends on it. In order to be a truly confident person, perhaps sometimes you need to have a little bit of self-doubt, and sometimes you do need to take criticism constructively, because none of us are superheroes that are perfect. We all have our imperfections, and our abilities to recognize that we are imperfect and then improve upon those perhaps negative qualities is a value of confidence, because you can confidently recognize that, oh, sometimes I am not doing things the best way that I can. I need to improve upon myself. And so what I would like to tie this into is a belief that I have held for several years now. I believe it is the smartest people who know what they do not know. I believe that if you can recognize the things in which you lack knowledge of, you will be so far ahead of the game, it is insane. That, coupled with actual confidence and believing in yourself, are two important skill sets, or I don't know if they would both be considered skills, but they go hand in hand in creating a very well-rounded person. Most people go throughout their lives never really taking anything constructively, or at least when they do take something constructively, it really needs to be pounded into them time and time again. I have seen people change over time and recognize that perhaps their habits are not the best habits they could possibly have, but it takes many examples over and over again to very vaguely and slightly change them over a very long period of time. The ability to identify valuable advice and put aside your personal feelings in order to take in the valuable advice is the skill of a brilliant person. This is because you have the knowledge and ability to identify your lack of knowledge in something and know that you need to seek that knowledge from outside sources. It is a level of self-awareness that everyone, I believe, should strive towards no matter what. I do believe that this is an ideal that everyone should strive towards as much as they possibly can. Now, why do I believe this? Well, oftentimes, if you do not know what you do not know, you end up having very stupid, superstitious beliefs. This is kind of tying into a topic that I do not really want to talk about in this video. Some people rely on their religious beliefs way too much. They believe, oh, God is on my side, so as long as I sit back and continue to believe, things will eventually work out for me. And these are the people who never really take the initiative and actually going out and getting what they want done. So because they do not actually know that they do not know how everything supernatural actually plays out, they sit back while then perhaps someone else who is not as superstitious goes out and fights tooth and nail for that job or whatever, and they end up getting it. And so this supposed confident person who does not know what they do not know ends up blaming it on something stupid like bad luck. Bad luck is a terrible thing to blame your problems on. Also, this can result in bad choices on the job. I know people who have been in jobs for quite a while, and technology has slowly been improving over time, and yet they just refuse until it is absolutely necessary to embrace this technology. And so because they do not realize that their ways are not the best ways available, and because they're comfortable, they do not embrace the technological changes, and so they end up falling behind, and they do not get the promotions that perhaps they could have been getting if they just played the game a little bit more and realized that there are holes in their skill sets that they could work on. This results in horrible parenting choices. People end up believing, oh, well, my parents raised me this way, so I should raise my own children this way. And so you get really bad parental habits repeating themselves generation after generation. People think, oh, well, my dad gave me a few pats on the butt, which ends up being, some pretty serious spanking. So that never really hurt me. That will shape my child into being a great obedient kid. And perhaps they do not realize that, oh, by hitting my child in this sort of way, it's creating this negative personality that will never actually have true happiness in life, because my actions, while they've kept him in school and getting those A pluses, they have not actually created an individual that can really be at peace with themselves. It creates poor voting choices. So many people in every election do not know anything about the candidate that they're voting for. They think, oh, this person kind of visually looks like myself, or looks like the kind of person that I would want to have in office, or someone that I want to have a beer with. And so they vote for that person without actually knowing that they have no idea what their political stance is, and they have no idea just what those political ideologies will create. This also can result in bad life decisions for yourself because your vision is narrow and you lack the peripheral vision to take advantage of opportunities as they pass you by. This is why you should all strive to self-reflect every once in a while and understand that you do not know everything, and holding up this gigantic amount of pride each and every time someone doubts you or someone says, hey, take a look at this from my own point of view, is a poison, and do not do that. Your sense of self should not be that fragile, and if it is, if you do notice that people suggest things to you and you always say, oh, they don't know me, they don't know who I am, if you notice that you are always doing this, take a good amount of time to self-reflect and see if you are guilty of this habit of not knowing what you do not know. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.